For the following areas, in New York, Brooklyn, southern Queens and southern Nassau, coastal flood advisory remains in effect from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. this evening. Locations, backshore bays of Brooklyn, Queens and southern Nassau County. Tidal departures, 1 to 1.5 feet above normal. Timing, early this evening. Impacts, flooding of the most vulnerable shore roads and/or basements due to total height of tide. The majority of roads will remain passable with only isolated closures. For the following areas, in New Jersey, Middlesex, western Monmouth and eastern Monmouth, coastal flood advisory in effect from 7 p.m. this evening to midnight tonight. The National Weather Service in Mount Holly has issued a coastal flood advisory, which is in effect from 7 p.m. this evening to midnight tonight. Location, the New Jersey side of Raritan Bay as well as the Atlantic Ocean facing counties in New Jersey. Coastal flooding, minor tidal flooding is likely. Timing, high tide occurs on the ocean side and Raritan Bay around 8 p.m. this evening. Impacts, roadways prone to tidal flooding, should flood around the time of high tide tonight. Outlook, additional minor tidal flooding is possible with subsequent high tides on Monday and Tuesday nights. A coastal flood advisory indicates that minor tidal flooding is anticipated. Minor tidal flooding often results in some road closures. Usually, the most vulnerable roadways will flood. Do not leave your vehicle at a location that is prone to tidal flooding. Do not drive your vehicle through flood waters. The water may be deeper than you think it is. You will be putting yourself in danger, and your vehicle may be damaged, leading to costly repairs. For a list of the impact of different tide heights in your county, please go to www.erh.noaa.gov/fi/tides.htm all in lowercase. For the following areas, in New Jersey, Hudson, eastern Essex and eastern Union, and the following areas, in New York, Manhattan and Staten Island, isolated minor flooding is likely around high tide early this evening. Locations, New York Harbor and adjacent to backshore bays and kills. Tidal departures, around a half a foot. Timing, early this evening. Impacts, minor coastal flood benchmarks likely will be reached or exceeded in a few places along the shores of New York Harbor and immediate adjacent waterways. This will result in minor inundation of the most vulnerable areas in these locations. For the following areas, in Connecticut, southern Fairfield and southern New Haven, and the following areas, in New York, southern Westchester, Bronx, northwest Suffolk, northern Queens and northern Nassau, isolated minor flooding is likely around high tide late this evening. Locations, western Long Island Sound from northwestern Suffolk County to New Haven County. Tidal departures, around a half a foot. Timing, late this evening. Impacts, minor coastal flood benchmarks likely will be reached or exceeded in a few places along the shores of western Long Island Sound. This will result in minor inundation of the most vulnerable areas along the shoreline of western Long Island Sound. Here is the latest weather map discussion.